back to my YouTube channel, or welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I've got something for you all, and that is listening. Well, I know I made a video before in IELTS, and if you people haven't watched it before, then I'm gonna ask you people to watch it before. I'm gonna link the description in the description box below. That's what we say, I mean. So yeah, I'm gonna give that video's link in the description box below. You all can check it after watching this video, because in that video I've given everything: what is listening, what is reading, what is IELTS overall, what is speaking, and what is writing. I've introduced them all, and in this video today I'm gonna be talking about listening. And let's get started. What is listening? How many parts are there in listening? How many sections are there? And then I'm gonna give you some overall tips and some question types. So yeah, let's get started. I don't have anything else to say. Okay, so there are 4 sections in your listening test, and those 4 sections means there are going to be 4 different tests in listening, and each of them will be having different type of questions and different types of listening patterns. So let's get started. There are 4 sections. The first section is convo between 2 speakers. So the first section is pretty easy. It's going to be really easy. But it's going to be a conversation between 2 speakers. Now, those 2 speakers can be anyone: an interviewer and an interviewee, or a boss and an employee, or it can be, if you're going for some kind of booking, so the person who's a receptionist and the other who's a customer, it can be anyone. So that's basically, there are going to be those 2 people who are going to be having a conversation between them, and after that conversation, what you're going to do is you're going to listen to that, and then you're going to be having your booklet, and in that booklet, you're going to be having your questions, and those questions would be what? Those questions would be like, okay, so who is the receptionist? What is the receptionist saying? Not like that. Like, if this is a conversation between a customer and a receptionist, and the customer is asking, like, what does your company work for? And the receptionist is giving the answer, we are a booking travel agent. And then in your booklet, the question would be, what does the company work for? Then you're going to be writing, it's a booking travel agent. And you always have to look through, like, how many words you got to write in your answer. Section number 2. Section number 2 is going to be a monologue, which is going to be non-academic. Section number 2 is a monologue. Monologue is, there is no dialogue, there is no conversation. Monologue is something that, a person does with himself. Not with himself, like not standing in front of the mirror and then having a conversation. But it's going to be when someone is giving a speech or someone is addressing some people. Like, there is no other person who is speaking, but there are other person who are listening. It can be your boss who is giving some lectures to you all, to most of the employees, or only to you. So it's basically a monologue. And then the questions would be regarding that monologue, like, what's the person so mad about? What does he want to do? And all that kind of stuff. Alrighty? So that's a monologue. Third section is convo among several people. So now this conversation is going to be among several people. Now these several people, again, can be some employees, or they can be some friends, or anything else. I mean, but there are going to be several people who are going to be having a conversation. And they're also going to speak each other's name, like, Mark, what do you think? So your booklet would be having the question of, what does Mark think? And Mark thinks this, because Mark would be giving the answer in that conversation which they're having with all of their friends and their employees. So this is section number 3. Section number 4, monologue. It's a talk for a long time. Yeah, it's a monologue again, but it's not something that is related to this. This is going to be a non-academic talk. Like, it's not going to be related to your academics, any subject of yours, or any language, literature kind of stuff of yours. But this one is going to be that. And this one will be having way better vocabulary than this one. This is going to be a pretty easy one because it's only section 2. But this is going to be a pretty difficult one. The vocabulary is going to be way better than this, and a little bit difficult than this, but we are going to work on that. And the accent's also going to be nice in this one. I mean, way better than this one. It's going to be a normal slow accent, but this can be fast. So that's it. That's what a monologue is. And section 4 is about talk for a long time. And now let's focus on the question types which you're going to be getting in your listening. So let's do it. So yeah, now we're going to be focusing on the question types. And there are, how many question types are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There are 7 types of questions which are going to be in your listening test in all of those 4 sections, and in any one these questions can be given. So yeah, let's get started with the first one. The first one is foreign, note, table completion. The forms one is basically the one, it's like fill in the blanks. Like if someone is giving you a monologue, so there are going to be questions in front of you, like there's going to be a paragraph, and that paragraph would be having what? That paragraph would be having some dashes, like, you know what, let's imagine for a while I'm speaking something. So like it's going to be, she is dash something. Sorry for the bad handwriting, you all. So what am I doing? She is speaking something. So that's what the form kind of questions are. But let me tell you, people, it's not going to be the whole lot of same. Like if the person is saying one thing and then you're going to be noticing the exact same thing, it's not going to be exact. It's going to be the exact meaning, but the word structure, the sentence structure, it's not going to be exact. So you got to better be prepared for that. The next one are notes. Notes is also the same kind of questions. It's also fill in the blanks, so where you are preparing your own notes. It's not basically while you're listening and then you're preparing the notes. No, you gotta first read the question, what they're asking for, and then you gotta prepare notes for that. Table completion. Wow, this is the most important one. Now, let me tell you this, if someone is having like a conversation, like as I gave you the example of a travel agent and a customer, and that travel agent is telling the customer like this is the time what our bus leaves, like now the travel agent is telling the customer like on Monday our bus leaves on this time, on Tuesday on this time, on Wednesday this time, and then there are the prices, then there are the prices, like on Monday the price is $100, on here the price is 200 rupees or anything else, and it leaves at 9. So there are already gonna be some filled up answers in that table, but now that's what the table completion is. You gotta fill up the other answers which are not already completed. So you gotta listen to that properly and you gotta fill it up. The next is labeling a diagram. Another important part. Now it's basically in a monologue. Like imagine this, you're in a lecture, and that lecture is given by a biology teacher, a biology professor, and that is kind of like a monologue, and the biology professor is helping his students understand a diagram, like, you know, some organism diagram. So that diagram would be in your listening booklet, and you're gonna listen to that, and the moment he's gonna tell, okay, so that's more structure, that is whatever the name is, like on a leaf, this is chlorophyll. So you gotta fill all of those things. Now it can't only be your biology diagram, it can be anything else too. It can be a map, like if someone's telling us, okay, so now there is a conversation, now that monologue person is telling some of his persons like, so you're gonna go inside the water park, here are some things, and you're gonna be finding on your left this, on your right this. So there are gonna be questions, what is on the right, what is on the left, what is on the side of the library. If it can be regarding anything, it can be a map, it can be some sort of diagram, it's just you have to label that as you listen. The next is sentence completion. Sentence completion is, now it is all related to this fill in the blanks thing, and this fill in the blanks is same kind of like the sentence completion. So you're gonna get given a sentence, but as same as this, it's not gonna be exact, you all. It's not gonna be exact. You gotta listen to that, and after listening to what the person's saying, you gotta complete the sentence. But that thing you gotta focus on if it's gonna be 2 words or if it's gonna be 3 words. You better listen to that. Okay, so the next one is short answers. Short answers are the same thing. There's gonna be a question, like we used to have question and answers in our 4th, 5th, or 6th standard. Like there were short answers, and those short answers were for like 2 or 3 sentences. So there are gonna be some questions given. You gotta read the comprehension, you gotta listen to that, and after listening to that, you gotta answer. You gotta answer in 2 or 3 words, and that is your answer. The next one is selection. Selection is, let me give you an example. So imagine this, you are going in a museum, and after entering a museum, there is like a guide, and that guide is telling you all, like he's guiding you through places, and he's already telling you what is allowed inside the museum, no cars allowed inside the museum, no bags allowed inside the museum, and all sort of things. So you gotta notice that what is allowed or what is not allowed, and now there's a question given, what is not allowed inside the museum? So you gotta listen to that conversation or that monologue, what the person's saying, and after listening to that, you're gonna, like check all of the things that are not allowed or whatever sort of questions that is. So you gotta be focusing on that. The next thing is MCQs. MCQs is multiple choice questions, and MCQs, I mean, everyone's aware of that, aren't we? We just, in our normal booklet things or in normal academic studies, what we do is we just, Okay, so we just guess an answer and sometimes that's correct, but it's not gonna be in the listening test. In MCQs, you're gonna be listening to that and then you're gonna mark the correct answer as you listen. So what the person said and what does match. So MCQs can be the most hardest part of all, the most hardest type of questions of all. So you better focus on this one. The next is matching. And matching is gonna be like someone's having a conversation, someone's giving a monologue again, or a group of friends having a conversation. So like, we can imagine some group of friends having a conversation and that one person says, so Mark, what are you planning to do? And then Mark says, I think I'm going to go with psychology major or biology major. And then Mark asks someone else, what are you planning to do? I hope Mark doesn't have this bad kind of voice. But then Mark again asks someone, and what are you planning to do? Oh, I'm planning for masters in this subject or doing this. So now there is a matching table. So now you're going to match like Mark is planning to do this. Mark, job, planning, what? So there are going to be like matching things. Let me give you an example. And after this example, so imagine a group of friends having a nice conversation about their future. So the group of friends, someone's name is Mark with the bad voice. Someone's name is Amanda. Someone's Daphne. She's my friend. And what are they planning? Someone is planning to become a singer. Someone is doing some biology major. So, and someone's planning to do anything else, you know, so let's just imagine it A, B, and C. So whatever they're trying to do. So now they're having a conversation, you're listening to the conversation, and now they're having this, okay, so Amanda asked Mark, what are you planning to do? And then Mark answers in a whole lot of big sentence, like, I'm planning for biology major. So then you're gonna mark this, biology major, if Amanda is trying this, and if Daphne is trying this. So that's how you're gonna do the matching stuff. And now I'm gonna give you some overall tips that is gonna improve your listening section. Okay, sorry for the enthusiasm. So yeah. And now here I have some overall tips for you all, which if you people are gonna follow, your bands are gonna increase. And as I already told you people, like I've already made a video on bands, how the band structure is, how the mark structure is in IELTS. So you better watch this video here. And now let's get started with the tips. So here is the first tip, start listening. I mean, for listening, if you're not gonna start listening, how will your listening improve? So you better start listening. Now, it's not only about listening. I know you all listen a lot, but it's about active listening. If you're not going to listen actively to that, now active listening, I'm going to be making another video on active listening, how to improve your listening. So yeah, there are going to be different parts of listening videos, and I'm going to be making that really soon. But you're going to do active listening. For now, I'm only going to tell you, you got to listen actively to every word, but it's going to kind of contrast with the tip number D. So just active listening is about focus and have a nice concentration. Just, you know, listen to the words which you can understand. That's active listening. Next, listen, read, and write. Okay, listen, you gotta listen, read, and write simultaneously. Yes, you gotta do all of this hands in hands, all together, simultaneously. You're gonna be listening, you're gonna be reading to the question, and you're gonna be writing the answers. Now, I'm not asking you all to, okay, so you're listening, and you're reading the same thing, and you're writing the same thing. No, not that one. But you gotta practice some practice papers. So here, you gotta practice some IELTS papers, listening on, and you gotta listen, you gotta read, and you gotta write. So you have to have that practice for it. I mean, I see so many students who don't practice for listening because they think like listening is an easy one, and then listening cuts their most of their bands. Because in this section, you gotta do all three of these simultaneously. So if you have a nice practice for this, then listening is gonna increase your bands. Otherwise, it's all normal. Otherwise, you're gonna get 5 or 5.5 or whatever your level is. And the next one is always write the right words, spellings. Okay, so this can be a tip for both your reading and your listening, is that we people don't read the instructions. Like, if the instructions are so clear, you're gonna write your answer in like 3 words or 4 words, maximum 2 or 3 words. It can be maximum just like 4 words, not more than that in any listening test. So you better read that and then you gotta write the right words, not like everything. So in listening, there is only this thing too, like if the person's saying off the planet, and if you have only written the planet, or if the person says the planet and you write off planet, so there also your band can cut down. So you gotta focus on that, and you also gotta focus on the right spellings, because you're gonna be having questions, you're gonna be listening, but spellings, you're gonna listen and you gotta write them by yourself. So better write the right spellings. And the next one is don't focus on everything. That's why I told you it's going to contrast with this one. Active listening is when you're listening to the right words, when you actually know what the meaning of the words is, what are the new words that people are using in their monologue or their conversation. And this one is don't focus on everything. What you got to focus is what the question is and what the people are speaking. If that question isn't related to what the person is speaking, just don't pressurize everything, because most of the times what happens is like what we are listening, it just doesn't happen, like, and then we think, okay, the whole passage has gone by, where is the damn answer? And then we are always thinking, okay, yeah, the whole passage has gone by, what are we gonna do now? Nothing! You have got to do nothing because the whole passage has gone by. So don't focus on everything, you gotta focus on the right things. So the moment you start, you think the answer hasn't come yet, but the answer's sometimes already there. I'm telling you people, because now I'm 17. When I was 14, I gave an IELTS examination, and when I practiced some listening papers, I never did though, but yeah, 2 or 3. So I always used to notice this thing, the answer is gone by, and you still don't have the answer with you. So you gotta listen like that. That can be your active listening, and don't focus on everything. It means if there is even 1 or 2 words and then you're thinking, oh, this may be the answer. No, that is not the answer. Sometimes they try to confuse you. That's why it's called a test, you know? Why else it would be called a test? So don't focus on everything. Just focus on what people are saying, and if that word matches, and the new words, because new words can be the answer. So yeah, these are overall tips for listening. I hope you will like this video. I hope you will like the question types, and thank you so much for watching, everybody. That's it for today's video. This is IELTS listening. I'm going to be making a video on IELTS listening part 2 really soon. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Janhavi Panwar. Stay safe, do subscribe, do comment, do press the ringing bell besides the subscribe button, do like, do share with your friends and family, and if you people gonna connect with me, or you're gonna look at something, so you can follow me on my socials. I've got my Instagram, my Twitter, and my Facebook. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. See you, bye.